fine people. Welcome to another episode of LT Talks, Localization Talent Talks. We're here in Santa Clara at Localization World. Today I'm here with Pedro Gomez from Microsoft. Hi Pedro, how are you?
Hi Annette, not too bad. What about yourself?
Fantastic, thank you.
Excellent.
Pedro, you've been working in the localization industry for a long time. On
Yes.
the client side, you head up a large group
Yes.
at Microsoft. Tell us a little bit about how you got started in this industry.
Sure. So I studied languages at school, and I've always been super interested in communication between different cultures. So when I finished my degree, I decided that I didn't want to be a language teacher. I wanted to be a translator,
Okay.
and I got a job with a company that did translation. Now, when I was starting, most of the translation is by nature technical, so I became involved in a localization project, and I was doing that for a number of years. And I followed what has been a fairly standard career progression within the industry. I was a translator, then I became a localizer, then I became a project manager, then I had a sort of salesy relationship management role working with clients, and then eventually I got a job with a client, with Microsoft, and it's been a very exciting ride. Yeah, I'm very happy about it.
Fantastic. It's lovely to hear somebody go through a career path actually, because I think that's one of the things that we struggle with is career pathing in the industry. So as a hiring manager within Microsoft, what type of people are you hiring, and what are the attributes of the people that are most successful that you do hire?
I think that this is a very good question, Annette, and I think that things are changing. When I started, we had localization was a bit of an unknown quantity, so it required a lot of muscle to get things moving. These days, there is more and more automation, so I think that the types of roles that are going to be very successful in the future are going to fall into two categories in my mind. You're going to see people who are either very specialized computational linguists who can develop and maintain APIs and systems to take files from a repository, a CMS, push them through machine translation, push them through translators for refinement as needed, and then inject them back into the builds and into the products. You're going to see a lot of activity around that automation types of roles. And then you're also going to see different types of roles emerging in the future, which have to do with international product management, where you're going to be consulting with companies about the markets that your products will be exportable to, the types of changes that you need to make to the products for them to be viable in different markets, and then after release, maintain a communication with the users of the products in the markets. You know, driving and mining social media, driving support boards, and so on and so forth.
Interesting. And so what type of people do you think that we can attract in, that have these skills, perhaps from IT development? What type of people do you think that we need?
So the types, you need someone who has an affinity for other cultures and other languages, who can extract themselves from their cultural context and think about the product as, I'm a person, I've never seen this. How would somebody from, say, Indonesia, which is a growing market, or Brazil, react to this product? Is it the right type of experience that we're going to have for those users? So you need a basic affinity for or appreciation for other cultures. All of this is very technology driven, so you need someone who can interact with multiple systems, who can pick up quickly on different CMSs, different communication systems. And then computational linguistics is a very sought after skill. The challenge that any company has is that this is a booming market, so you're going to be competing with very large software development companies out there. And outside of that, one thing that people tend to underestimate is the basics of program management and project management, being able to define, scope out a project and carry it through conclusion, and working with remote groups of people of different cultures and different backgrounds. I think that people tend to focus on the hard skills. I'm an ASP JSON developer that has got a marketable value, and it definitely does. But then, being very good at the soft skills, the program management, the project management, the ability to drive a project through completion, that has possibly more equal or more value.
Fantastic, fantastic. And so what do you love most about this industry? If you were trying to attract people in, what would you recommend they do, and what has made it great for you? Why have you stayed all of these years?
So personally for me, I love the ability to communicate with people in other markets, in other cultures. I've studied 10 languages. I'm learning my way through Chinese, but that's a bit of a hobby. But so I really love the ability to communicate with other people. Outside of my personal feelings, I think that it's a booming industry. You know, if you look at the data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, translation and related fields are growing by 10% every year. So there is a lot of demand. So you have an element of job security. And if you look at, you can add a lot of value to any company by helping them market their services outside of their native land. A very common metric for any American company, since we are here in San Francisco, is that typically 50% of the revenue comes from the US, and the remaining 50% comes from other markets. But the more I look at the future, you know, the more I see international markets driving more of that revenue. If you look at iOS, the largest revenue maker market for iOS is actually China, which is probably something that people do not realize. So helping tap into some of those emerging markets, which will start driving growth in the future. So
Fantastic.
It's all very exciting.
Very exciting. Pedro Gomez, thank you very much for taking your time out of the busy conference to talk to us today. It's been great.
My pleasure.
Fantastic.
Bye-bye.
So you've been watching LT Talks, Localization Talent Talks. Let's keep the talent conversation going. If you want more information, please go to our website for our LT Talks page, and please tweet, share, so that we can raise awareness for the wonderful careers that people have within the localization industry. I'm Annette Lawler. Thanks for watching.